Well, I'll be. It's actually a vacuum pump. Wow. Looks like it's been hit pretty hard. Fell off a truck. I bet the landscapers put it there because it fell off a truck. You know, I hemmed and hawed on this a little too much, but I was like, you know, I'm sure it's a vacuum pump. I had Thijs park at Kunda Beverage, and I walked all this way. Now I gotta walk all the way back. Man, this makes me regret waiting. My inaction made us skip several roads, but I'm not gonna have Thijs take a left out of Kunda to go that way. But it was 4 lights that way, all the way at the road way down there. So I've gone like half a mile, but I'm almost there. That's just a reminder for me to be quicker whenever I see something that, when I think is what it is and I need it, I should say pull over and get it, because it's a good learning experience. Because the motor's probably shot, but this is built like a tank. I bet I might be able to put a different motor on it, or the motor might even work. And this is just an added bonus. I also found some interesting conduit lines halfway along the road, but I thought, well, I should leave that for somebody else. There's so much good stuff here. This is something that you run with a drill, and it cuts metal. Yesterday we picked up this for free, a little mini fridge that I'm hoping to fix up for the coffee shop or the local deli. Then today I went to go see about picking up a 1930s Frigidaire model W5. You know, I could just screw a board to this, so once it gets up to a certain height, it pulls the board up. We don't have to add a second one.
Right. How close are we then? Okay.
However, conversely, I could also just take 2x4s and screw them onto here so it would slide up the 2x4s. Beautiful. I don't know. Well, it will have the blanket on it. It's just hard to get it on there. And unfortunately, it was way too heavy to get up the steps. The steps were that steep, and I didn't know exactly how to isolate the sulfur dioxide. I should have emailed my friend David1 HighwayNet Turbokinetic on the refrigerator forums, because we were trying to winch it out, and the geometry just didn't work out. I should have emailed him while we were doing it instead of waiting until the end. But oh well. We'll go back and separate the system and move it out, and I'll have a 1931 or 1932 or whatever Frigidaire belt-driven refrigerator. Well, the guy that was going to give me the 1931 refrigerator felt so bad that we drove 2 hours to not be able to bring anything back. So I feel almost a little bit bad that he gifted me so many things, but you know, stuff just collects around for everyone like us. So he gave me some spools of wire, all sorts of stuff. But he also grabbed this Duo Seal vacuum pump. And I recognize the W.M. Welch Manufacturing Company brand. This is pretty cool. This might be something that would need a little bit more care because, okay, so you have, it looks like a fitting goes on there. Now, is that the inlet or is that the outlet? There's 2 bolts here. Looks like that's the inlet of some kind. So maybe that's the output. Yeah, maybe that's the output. And unfortunately, this seems seized. Then, I looked this up, and apparently this is like a top of the line best one. You know, I saw platinum and I thought this must be a Harbor Freight thing. No. These things go for hundreds of dollars. So I got lucky. Now, I'm hoping that this thing is just bulletproof enough that the motor got all destroyed, but the vacuum pump possibly didn't. And we can possibly replace the motor just fine. I see a little connector in there. Looks like a plastic coupler. Oh yeah, I should undo this because for that long walk to get this thing, I had put the cable around there. Oh wow. This hit that. Really? Oh, I had no idea that was broken off. Okay, well, this does. Ah, no, that's not coming up. It was twisting off. I will need to weld something under there and pull that off. Okay, so that snapped. Hit that. It did save that though. Oh, oh wow. Oh my gosh. I'm going to save all the little bits that have the capacitor number. Okay. Wow, this thing got so thrashed. Whew. Okay. Man, that thing took such a beating. Just look at this. Okay. Let's see, can... What? This thing still turns. It's really tight, though. That's unfortunate. We will take a look at this motor later, I think. It turns. Yeah, it binds up on something. I'm not feeling any vacuum. So this might be dead as well. Oh yeah, this had been mowed around a number of times because there's just grass everywhere. There's even grass in the oil. We got the oil out, at least what was left. And now to open up this housing and see, is there anything obviously wrong with it? I could see that maybe it just needs to run at a high RPM relative to, compared to turning by hand, because I did feel something of a compression, just not very much. Some serial number 0917. Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
So I'm taking apart that vacuum pump that we found on the side of the road. Whenever you edit the video, you're going to see the comical bit of I opened up the container to hold the capacitor, and the capacitor is no more.
Oh.
I mean, that's all to do with the motor, which I don't really care about. Whoops.
Okay.
I just plan to replace this with like a 1/4 horsepower motor. It's probably the same thing.
Yeah.
I drained the oil. I saved as much as I can in some glass jars that will probably break and make a big mess. But I'm now going to be undoing it and seeing, do I have a vacuum pump? Well, I mean, after today, I have 2 vacuum pumps, although I don't know what that one really does. That might be like a medical pump. It might still work though.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, I have the sump open. I see it was made in 2017, looks like.
Okay.
I also see that there is all sorts of grass and gunk that fell in because I didn't realize when I was carrying it, I didn't realize until just today, that the handle was actually sheared.
Oh.
That's what destroyed the capacitor.
Oh.
Well, the vacuum magic box looks really robust.
Well, that's good.
That is good. I'm gonna grab more some paper towels. Whenever I turned it by hand, it felt a little bit like it was doing a bit of suction, but I couldn't turn it fast enough to tell for certain. I mostly just wanted to make sure there's nothing in here, because I could see through the porthole on the top that there was all sorts of grass and stuff in here, and sure enough, there's like a little garden in here.
That sucks, though. Oh.
Yeah, it's fine. It's easy to wipe out. I'm just wiping it out from the sump, from the oil sump.
Well, I don't want to hold you up. I was just making sure you're okay.
Yeah, that's fine. I just figured I'd call since you texted.
No problem.
And I got a lot cleaned today. I threw away a fair bit of stuff because, he gave me a whole bunch of stuff because of the whole fiasco with the fridge.
Yeah.
And so I cut up some wood, just threw it out because I want to do more mechanical stuff like this. Okay, I'm going to end the call there because I only have one finger left to actually turn off the phone.
Okay, bye.
Still some grass dangling in there. I wonder if they make a tool that can take that off. I think the tool is this welder. Check this out. I just hit it really hard on the safe that I have back there. Not too bad. Not too bad for just 10 p.m. at night. count that as restored as this thing needs to be. Now, it's cleaned up. I have that taken out. Well, shoot, this would actually fit in there. My bench grinder wasn't plugged in, so I just turned it by hand. I can already tell this is going to be a goofy pump. My tap and die set does not go big enough for this. Weird machine. I'm building a weird machine. Oh yeah, I turned off the argon. I can put this back on. This is my reminder to turn off the argon. And it is off. It's the same logic of the remove before flight tags that they use in aerospace. The rest is so dirty, I don't think it's even worth putting in. Oh yeah, everything's settled to the bottom. That actually works out pretty well. Oh, there's some water in there too. Well, that's good. I got the water out. And that is it. The rest of that is similarly disgusting. So now it's all clean, because I imagine if we did turn it, we'd probably get something stuck inside the compressor or the vacuum pump and just get destroyed. Oh, come now. What a goofy thing I've done. So, it gets solid there, so that does make me worry. Ooh, it has more it has more suction now. It does, so it goes that way. Now this motor looks like it is actually about the same shape. Looks like the same D shaft. This, though, already had a use. It was my doorstop. So I will mourn its loss, but I could just use a brick. It's a little bit stiff. I can't recall if I hit this thing really hard or not. Probably did. All right, I'll need that again. So this turns out to have a set screw. So Guardian 18. Let's see. Does it fit? Well, it'll probably fit if I just dirty up my file real quick. Ooh, look at that. I think we got an easy peasy little project here. have to open those up and get some oil in there. That's good to clean out. Also, I did find this little thing that's saying oil in the trash. Maybe this could be something good. This motor, I mean, it should be able to power through that because it's softened up quite a bit. And it still has issues. Oh, there it went. I don't know if this might need a capacitor. My viewers can let me know. Oh, I think we have something here. All right, let's see. Okay, I don't want to overheat it. I was gonna see if this would do something different, but 'cause I was gonna seal this. That I have a pump, and I didn't have to buy one. All this stuff is free. Oh, I'm so happy. It's the next day, and I've decided we've had some pretty good success with just getting that vacuum pump off and finding a common connector. I think that if I can't get this working through simple means, just like shaking out any metal bits and giving it a good take apart and put it back together, then it might be best for me to just not tie the fate of this vacuum pump to this motor. And whenever I see my neighbor David next, I'll just ask him, hey, you said you had a whole bunch of motors. Mind if I take a look? And so I took this apart just to see if taking it apart and putting it back together will fix it. Also seeing, like, is there a capacitor hidden in here? There's not a capacitor hidden in here, but it looks like there's this looks like a relay. Please let me know what that is. I believe it's like a thermal relay or something. And then, oh, by the way, I spent most of the day moving the desk out. It's going to sell. So I wanted to get that ready. I was selling that on Monday. I looked up the Welch pump, and it is exactly what I wanted. And I'm not really sure on what's the outlet or inlet. I think this is, oh, you know what? I bet this is a little covered outlet, and this is probably the inlet. Probably for a big hose. That's what I thought at first, but I was like, no, surely it's not that. Now, with this, I believe, would this be a shaded pole motor? Is that the only type of non-capacitor motor besides the repulsion start? Because I don't think repulsion start has that. I think these simplistic motors would be, I think they'd be shaded pole. So the rotor looks fairly okay. The governor mechanism looks okay as well. This is held out until it speeds up and it swings the weights out. Whenever it's out, it breaks the connection here. And then whenever it speeds up, it makes the connection, I think. Yeah. And oh, I see. So it's actually contacting on the base. So it makes a connection with the black wire. The black wire goes to the middle, which goes to the blue, which goes there. So that is the starter winding, I guess you'd call it. Do these motors use the actual, like, do they have a dedicated starter winding, or do they have their own, do they use parts of the big winding? I imagine, so we have really thick cables, which would be for high current, and thin cables, which would be for low current. Maybe this is the start winding and this is the run winding. I do not know. Maybe this is the start winding and this is the run winding. Could be that as well. There were some metal bits in here. I banged it out and blew it out. Well, let's put it back together and just see. Does it seem like it's going to have much life after just a simple bit of attention? That motor is actually missing a screw, and so I decided, well, since the original motor for that vacuum pump was dead, these screws fit that. I just needed to get a nut. I didn't happen to have a nut organized into my organizers over there, so it's finally time to deal with this thing. I found the nut I needed, and I got every last bit of hardware out from behind the shelves, and then I straightened it. So let's see. It's obvious that this got dumped on its back. What if I were to use my ultrasonic cleaner that I haven't tested yet to clean these? That should be pretty good. Yeah, this thing would have been kind of useless without taking everything apart and removing all those bits. Kind of funny. I have it all back together now, and it still has the same issue. So even whenever I turn it, it locks it solid. I would like to hear what you guys think is the problem. Is it something within the winding, or is it something within the mechanism here? Because it actually locks it solid. Seems almost like the mechanism isn't deploying. There's no rotational energy to start it. As you guys can see, I've been gathering a little collection of air and HVAC fittings. So, you know what? That can go into that little thing that I just opened up. And I might even mount that to a very heavy base so it never tips over, because that is a risk with those. Now, as for the Duo Seal vacuum pump, let's see. So there's almost no oil in it. I've seen, oh yeah, the oil was open. The oil drain was open. Well, or maybe that fully comes off, I don't know. But it looks like these are temperamental, but very reliable. I don't know if that makes sense, but you can fix them easily. And they have rebuild kits for them, but they can lock up. So I can look inside to see if maybe a lot of moisture came in. Well, should we do that now? Let's take a quick little look maybe. Oh, look at that. I kindly left a rubber mallet on the ground for me. And it is absolutely dirty. So it looks a little bit rusty, and it's completely filled with oil. Ooh, it's all sludgy. Now, I cannot afford to buy a rebuild kit, so I'm gonna have to preserve it and make it not get damaged by my experiments. Oh yeah, it's all like a thick grease. I'm pretty certain this should be easier than grease. So I'm gonna put that back, and you guys can make sure, you can keep me accountable. Make sure I didn't flip it around. So I'm going to do A, B, B. Surely it's fine to mark on that, right? Because it'll just get, it's so thin, right? But it's probably good to do. Yeah, it's all gunked up. I think I can still be delicate with it though, and clean it out. And not have to, well, getting a rebuild kit is out of the question. They're like 180 bucks. Ah, there's like a oxidation there. Now, I'm getting all bent out of shape, keeping the orientation from the wear pattern. Is that even necessary? Am I just beating myself up over nothing? Well, I'm not beating myself up, I guess. It's probably just prudent to do it this way. Well, you know what? I'm going to wait until I get a parts cleaner, even if it's just a bucket of diesel, because this is going to need it. This is going to need it, man. Boy, is this going to need it. I don't have to worry about this thing turning because it won't turn. Also, please let me know what you think about my disassembly practices. Am I doing this with enough delicate touch to possibly keep this thing operational? Because it looks like I could just wipe everything off. Maybe soak it with acetone or something. And that should be good. But yeah, this good brown gravy is waxy and sludgy. Oh, you know what? It's separated out. There's like water mixed to it. Oh, no. Oh, you know what? I bet this might be... Oh, this might be like refrigeration fluid or something like that. Yeah, that's nasty. Nasty. Not quite... I mean, it's kind of rusty. But not quite. It's like it's a resinous, messy material. Well, I'm going to call it there. And I hope you guys enjoyed this look at some free vacuum pumps that I got. I think they're both going to work fine. Would like to know your input of this, how to fix that, or if I should just give up and get another one, because these are pretty prevalent. And if you think that just proceeding the way I was, where I'm keeping everything oriented the same way, open it up, maybe dissolve it with alcohol or acetone or diesel or something like that, and just give it a full clean. Also, what oils should I use in these? Because I looked them up and they're like $200 for the oils. And it's like, well, okay, I can't afford that. I can afford $20, but I can't afford $200. So what's something I can throw in these that isn't going to destroy them, but it's going to make them do what they do? Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you very much for watching. See ya.